Now I shall now make a statement in my capacity as the representative of Indonesia. Like others, I wish to thank USG Vorenkov and ISG Konings for their briefing. Let me also express my gratitude to the monitoring team, CTED, UNOCT, and the other UN-related entities for the report before us. In February of this year, I had the pleasure of accompanying USG Vorenkov and ISG Konings and the coordinator of the 1967 monitoring team on the first ever joint high-level visit to Jakarta. I believe that visit underlined Indonesia's comprehensive and balanced approach to the fight against terrorism, including the strategies in prosecution, rehabilitation, and reintegration, or PRR. The importance of developing PRR strategy has also been highlighted in the Secretary General's report. Indonesia is of the view that the PRR strategy, as an integral part of a comprehensive and tailored approach to addressing the threat posed by terrorists, is instrumental in counter-terrorism efforts. Therefore, providing a clear guidance for member states to develop and implement comprehensive PRR strategies should be one of the eminent priorities for our Council. This applies also to the continuing humanitarian and security challenges posed by FTF and their accompanying family members. We also note that the issues of relocation and returning FTF and their accompanying family members present significant challenges for member states. In this regard, we believe that an effective comprehensive PRR strategy is pertinent. We have to set our differences aside and show our unity once again in our collective efforts in fighting the scourge of terrorism. Dear colleagues, my delegation takes notes of the various salient points in the report, particularly concerning how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted counter-terrorism efforts and amplified threats through media propaganda. With this in mind, allow me to make 3 brief points. The first point relates to the terror by ISIL affiliates, which continue to threaten other parts of the globe. The report clearly demonstrates that ISIL affiliates are still active in many parts of the world, even as the world now faces the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that this threat remains and works through media propaganda, which may lead to inspired attacks once normal public mobility and assembly resume. This leads to my second point, which is countering propaganda. Indonesia believes that we should always invest in soft measures towards countering terrorist narrative and steering people away from the violent extremism that is conducive to terrorism. We need to promote and facilitate the spread of messages of peace, moderation, and tolerance as the best approach to confronting terrorist propaganda. We must provide messages which turn back negativity and at the same time amplifies positivity and hope. My third and last point, our fights against terror should neither cease nor waver despite the pandemic. The pandemic should in no way hinder our fight against terrorism, as that would be the best hope for the terrorists. Let us not permit the pandemic to create more terrorists or let their affiliate regroup or consolidate. We need to stay attuned to how the threat of ISIL continues to develop during and after the pandemic to adjust its response. We should be adaptive. Resolution 2532 of 2020 adopted last month anticipated this, as it called for the immediate cessation of hostility during the pandemic, except in the fight against terrorist groups. To that end, Indonesia would like to reaffirm our commitment to work together with all countries and the UN to strengthen our counter-terrorism cooperation. I thank you. Now I would like to resume my function as President of the Council. I see that there are no more names